against local government and human settlements department is one of the major factors leading to poor performance of municipalities in the province. This emerged during a meeting held in Rustenburg where municipalities presented their turnaround plans to improve following the damning report by the Auditor General.
Ailing Northwest municipalities, one of the reasons the province was put under administration. Provincial Portfolio Committee on Local Government and Human Settlements met to discuss a turnaround strategy. They say the provincial government is not providing leadership to municipalities.
It's not only about the municipality. The department itself has no capacity. The department does not even prioritize in terms of interventions. When they do, in terms of Section 154, the department needs to be all the time making sure that municipalities that are not performing, they must be able to whip these municipalities. They must be able to put stringent measures that actually forces these municipalities to comply so that they're able to deliver services to the people. And in this sense, Department of Local Government and Human Settlement, I must say that it has not that capacity. The capacity actually is lacking immensely.
The Department of Local Government did not attend this meeting despite being invited. Salga says municipalities should urgently do away with incompetent people who do not qualify to hold key positions.
Municipality requires immediate deployment of qualified experts, financial experts, in order to turn the situation around. Giving support to the same people who are there who does not necessarily have the capacity to deal with things, it's like, doing the same thing and expecting a different results.
Cooperative Governance Minister Dr. Zweli Mkhize visited the Northwest 2 weeks ago. He said several teams made up of national and provincial officials will be appointed to assist struggling municipalities in the province. Silwane Khachau, SABC News, Rustenburg.
Well, let's cross now live to our reporter in Mahikeng, Silwane Khachau. Thanks very much for joining us, Silwane. Just give us an overview from where you're sort of kind of observing today's meeting. Who was speaking to who, and did anything really come out of it?
Good evening, Peter. In fact, we're coming live now from Rustenburg at the Civic Center where that meeting has been taking place all day. Actually started this morning around 9 o'clock, and even now the meeting is still in session. We saw different key leaders in municipalities across the province coming from the district level as well as the local municipalities under one building today, discussing what is going to be their turnaround strategy plans to try to perform better. You'd remember that the Auditor General said that municipalities in various provinces are not performing well. In fact, they're performing very, very poorly, and the Northwest is no exception. We heard about various challenges that municipalities in this province are facing, and to help us understand that and unpack all those issues, right now we're going to be joined by Mr. Aaron Motswana. He is the Salga PEC member in the province, and he will help us understand all those issues. Sir, we heard earlier on you were saying there's a lot of problems. One of them being that people who do not have the skills and expertise are hired into key positions. Unpack this for us, please.
No, obviously we are worried about the outcome indicated by the Auditor General. And today's session, really, we had to come out as Salga, called by the Portfolio on Local Government, to look deeper into the problems, the root cause of all of these problems that are causing municipalities to regress the way they have done. And out of this particular process, we have identified many issues. Amongst other them, we have identified lack of skills and capacity at the municipal level, municipalities that are in financial distress, municipalities that does not necessarily have revenue base, municipalities that are struggling to interact with issues raised, exceptions raised by the Auditor General. And that relates more to issues of lack of capacity in sort of as skills are concerned, qualification. Now, we had to ask the big question whether people that have been deployed in municipalities does have the necessary capacity and skills and the qualification to can do the work that is required of them to do. As a result, many municipalities, almost about 21 in the Northwest Province, has got bad audit outcome. And one way or the other, the situation has to be turned around. Now, we have requested of local government and the Department of Finance, Enterprise and Development to look into issues of having to deploy people with the necessary skills and capacity to can go and turn around this particular municipality if we want to see this particular situation coming back to normality, and to ensure that municipalities that are in financial distress, we look into issues of having to impact the situation by the deployment thereof of people who will be able to deal effectively with what we call post-edit action plans. Because unless we are going to confront this particular evil of corruption, maladministration of funds in municipalities, lack of consequence management in municipalities, this particular problem will keep on recurring. And this is our message today, that municipalities going back to their municipalities, cases would have to be opened against people who are found to be on the wrong side of the law, people who are not able to apply supply chain policies correctly in municipalities, people who willingly or deliberately ignore policies and regulations that are there to govern municipalities, the implementation of Municipal Finance Management Act and so forth. So we have looked around all of these particular issues and we have come to a determination that there's a need to can then deploy people with the necessary skills in municipalities to inject funds also into those particular municipalities that are in distress and to help them with what we call revenue enhancement strategies.
Okay, and the other issue that you mentioned earlier on is that there seems to be a bit of confusion in terms of the roles when it comes to politics and being in government. Help us also understand that.
Look, in most municipalities, you'll find that we have municipalities within our province where a number of municipalities has failed or either adopted their budget late, simply because councillors could not go into meetings and agree. Councillors could not come to meetings that are supposed to prepare budget and facilitate IDP consultative meetings, which is a requirement for municipalities to adopt such budget such processes. Now, it is important for us and extremely highly important that municipalities must be able to separate politics from governance.
All right, thank you very much. That's what's coming from us this time. Back to you, Peter.
Salwana, thanks very much indeed. We're going to leave that there for the time being. She was in Rustenburg talking about the plight of the local municipalities and their turnaround strategies following the Auditor General's damning report. Now,